Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of Outside the Fox. I'm joined together with my brother, Steven. Xavier's out on a medical leave today, so we are going to talk about Siege, Pokemon's newest set, Donkey Kong Bananza, Xbox, Magic's newest set, Edges of Eternities, and Sonic's Secret Lair. I'm going to today start it off.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
This thing,
Oh, you're.
I don't know why what happened there. I don't know.
Oh, you're good. It's all right.
Just like reset itself or something.
Oh, okay.
Like just like.
I like the second take I did anyways. I feel like the second take was a little sharper, a little cleaner for me anyway, so that worked out.
All right, cool. Sorry.
Okay.
No, it's all right. You're good. Hey, you want us to go from the top again?
Oh, well,
okay. Yeah.
All right. Third time's the charm.
Yeah.
Yep. You let us know, Moose, whenever it's ready.
Third time's a charm, buddy.
All right. Let's go. So, okay. Hey, everybody. Let's go. This is episode 8 of Outside the Fox, and we are talking about, well, I'm joined together, actually, so let's start that off. My brother, Spenser Clark. Xavier's out on medical leave today, so we're going to be talking about Siege, Black Bolt, White Flare, Xbox, like some of the problems they're having, DK Bananza, Edges of Eternities previews, and Sonic's Secret Lair. So today's episode, I'm going to start it off, and we're going to begin by saying that this Friday, Saturday, Sunday is Southeast Game Exchange. We've been going for 8 years, and every day I feel a little older when I start thinking how time keeps flying. But we are going this weekend. This episode will come out on Friday. We're speaking on Monday, and very excited to be there. Grant Kirkhope is going to be there to voice a DK for like around 2 decades. Obviously worked a lot on Banjo-Kazooie, Tooie, some of my just absolute favorite games. For once, I'm no offense, I'm just so excited this is a guest that I'm really like. Other than Boogie 2988, not because I like him, but
he's going to be there?
No, Boogie has been there, and it's more or less the controversy for me. It's just funny.
I was going to say, I don't know if I'd say excitement is the word I'd use for Boogie, but I understand what you mean when you're he's going to be there.
Internet memes kind of stuff, and I'm just like, wow, I was like, okay. They usually always get Bowser. They didn't get Bowser this time, which again,
really,
yeah, it's all good. They've had some really good. The convention, I will just take a second to speak on how great it is. Last year, I mean, the biggest I've ever seen it. I have not been to PAX East or what, any of these like bigger shows, the ones that like I know like too many games. I gotta say, Siege is gunning right there for like every year, a little bigger, a little better, a little bigger, a little better. And I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll go to those one day and I'll be like, okay, this is on another like a.
Well, here's the Siege is still very like accessible. It's pretty affordable, right?
For right now, I'd say
now.
What I mean by that too, especially someone who's been here a long time, is that it is accessible. It is, it's great to be there. It's just grown. It's grown huge. A lot of, I was just stunned by the amount of vendors in there. They've done 3 days this year, and I will say like you almost need at least 2 days or a day and a half because like it just is that much stuff. If there's a list of games that you don't have, it's a great place to like fill out that collection, that library. So there's just a ton of. As a store owner, it's my one time of the year to kind of like talk to all the others I don't get to talk to sometimes throughout the year and be like, hey, how's it going? How's shop? How's life?
Oh yeah,
and chat and stuff, and it's always fun.
Yeah, always some cool cosplays. See some different things like that. Very friendly people, usually.
Yeah, you've been a lot. This year we're going to switch with. James is tagging in because just give him a little bit of the time. So
that's fair. We'll do the rotation, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty cool, and I'm gonna just jump straight to the next one for us is Black Bolt and White Flare coming out this Friday. Something to tell our audience is that because half of us will be at Siege, half of us at the store, I decided not to do pre-orders for the store because it was just gonna be too much. Because I couldn't guarantee we're leaving Thursday. I couldn't guarantee when the packages would be there for the set. And then trying to make sure those are packed. I won't even be around on Friday to help make sure they're shipped off correctly. So all is going to be in store. Prices will be up soon. Very excited that they're doing IRs, SARs for the whole set. My God, what an amazing wow, chef's kiss.
It is a lot. It's a lot. And it's not, I wouldn't say fast. It's been over a month, right, since Destin Rivals came out. About a month and a half.
All these sets feel fast to me.
They do feel fast. It's a big set. I think 856 cards total if you count all the treatments, right? So this is going to be one, it's going to take a while to digest, but I think the next one's September, I want to say 26th. I want to say the 26th. And that's the Mega Evolution set that reintroduces Megas to the CCG. And that's another big thing to think about is of all the gimmicks over the years, right? You have your terrestrializing, you have your Dynamaxing. Megas have always been the coolest one.
Mega's been my hands down favorite one. It's the one that I'm glad they did. The terrestrials, kind of fun. I guess like, oh, hey, this one's a water type now. It's grass. And it's like, it does add some complexity to it. But it just doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing.
Well, that's the thing. The presentation, because say you're like your favorite Pokemon's like, one of my favorites is Heracross, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, it's like, oh, this is my ace Pokemon. And then it's like, oh, I can hit a button and now it's stronger. It looks different. It's got better moves. It's got different abilities. Yeah, Lucario. Like it's just, there's a hype factor. And it just makes literally every Pokemon stronger. I mean, the only limit is you only have one on your team, but that also makes it kind of cool, right?
Yeah, you gotta pick. I like that for any Pokemon, it's a one-off where like a 2-tier evolution like Lucario.
Yeah.
You get an extra step up. So like...
yes. Or even like Pinsir got one, which was crazy.
Yeah.
There's Mega Beedrill.
I didn't like Pinsir, but see, the Megas, there's sometimes... Yes. I'm not a Pinsir fan, but Mega Pinsir, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Same for Heracross. Probably one to closer, like Scizor and Heracross.
Scizor is so cool, but that's another big thing because the Pokemon Direct is on the 22nd.
22nd, yes. We're going to be on the next podcast. We'll be talking about that. I'm sure reviewing that, going over some of what happened.
Well, they're bringing Megas into ZA, right? Legend ZA comes out later this year.
For around at least 10. I know Dragonite's one they've teased.
And here's the thing: it seems like. I mean, they have to know Megas have always been the most interesting gimmick, but from a balancing standpoint, I get why. Adding 100 plus stats to every Pokemon who has one. Dragonite getting a Mega, he's going to go from being one of the best Pokemon in the game to being the top 5, right? Top 10.
Definitely on the top rating. I mean, like I feel like it made Metagross even better. Mega Mewtwo was kind of already
Mewtwo was already. That's the problem because it's like some Pokemon you're like, oh, that's cool. They could use the buff. Like Beedrill, obviously, bug Pokemon aren't super great. You're like, it's still not that great, but it's like
I don't feel like Mega Beedrill's that great. Even Mega.
Yeah, or like Mega Pedialyte. You're like, okay, but. I think they know, and what I'm really interested to see isn't, if ZA is going to happen, because obviously it will, right? But if Gen 10, if we're going to get any hints about that, and if that's going to be a returning mechanic for that generation.
I think so. I think, because if they're bringing Megas, so they're the TCG's rolling over.
Yes, that's what yes.
Black Bolt, White Flare, from what I've seen, is the last set of Scarlet Violet. Yes. I think this is their way of just like the next set is just Mega Evolutions is the name. I think it's their way of getting it back in the mindset of everybody. ZA is going to get it back in the mindset of everybody. The new Pokemon presentation is going to and I think Gen 10, when they talk about it, it's going to be like, hey, we're going to return to Megas, and maybe they'll add even more.
They might.
Maybe they'll say, hey, here are the new 100 Pokemon, 80 to 100, and 10 to 15 of these from this generation can Mega Evolve. And of course, they always got to find like a Mega, like Mega Magmar. Like I'm just trying to think of Jinx, because they always throw in Kanto. They always got to get the old blood.
Make a Porygon.
Yeah, they always got to get the little old blood kind of like happy and be like, please in the base for the Kanto diehards.
Yes.
And there's a lot of those. I mean, but that was one thing for Black Bolt, White Flare. I was like, the fact that other than 151, when they did the first Kanto region again, this is the only region I think they've done or like, hey, this is it. Unova only. And it's like a love letter. I mean, like Pokemon Go, they had Unova Tour this year, February. They had Unova. They had. They usually tie them together though. They're getting really good about like tying things together. Like there's a whole like approach where they're kind of pulling everything together and cohesively.
Well, that's the other big point we were going to talk about, the Gen 5 remake rumors.
Oh yeah, see, it's a great time to.
I was going to say, with all that coming together, I mean, you pointed it out, right? They're doing this big set. They have something in Pokemon Go. They're releasing them. Obviously, I think last February we were kind of surprised about the ZA announcement instead of the Gen 5 remake. But, I mean, if you look at their schedule right now, all we really have for Pokemon is ZA, which is good. Like, that's going to cover it. But they could announce, in January, kind of like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was in January, right after Christmas. Here's the remake, guys. My big question, is it going to be made by the people who made the last games? I think it was Ilduc. Are they going to... Because they're obviously really more concentrated on the Legend series as their version of a remake, right? And is it going to be the same company? Is the quality control going to be a little better? It wasn't bad. It's just like... It just wasn't meeting fan standards for that, something that people love. I mean, we got Legends Arceus, which is basically a Gen 4 reimagining, not a remake, right?
Yeah.
So... that's a big question, but I guess we should probably move on to some other.
Oh no, this is where I was talking about remakes. Is actually a great point. So transitioning to Xbox.
Yes.
Something I'd read when it comes to remakes is that, like, for example, like Gen 5. I'm not saying Nintendo would do this, but They were trying to figure out ways to do AI to do an upscaling. So like you throw in said old game, like an old Crash on I know they've already redone it. I'm just throwing out one like Croc or something, like they've redone. You throw it into like the AI generator, like upscaler. It takes the same game and it just says like cleans it up. So like you don't have to have a whole team focus on the remake because you already created it. You've already created all that. It's just like,
you'd have to create a pretty advanced upscaler. It is possible.
And I was going to say one of the things was that with Xbox doing that,
yes,
Xbox has been all over the news for like lots of really bad reasons.
Honestly, just kind of really helping any negative PR Nintendo was getting because Xbox immediately said, let's raise the prices, let's fire some people. Just like, kind of, I was going to say.
Mega corporation moves that are like, I this is where, for me, so like Xbox, they let go, like on the last podcast, I kind of like theorized at the time, I think it was a little early, they let go of those 9,000 employees, and I was like, I wouldn't be shocked if it was an AI move.
Yes.
From what I've read, it's definitely an AI move. In fact, companies across that I wrote down was Intel, Microsoft, Meta, Morgan Stanley, my own hand, Shopify, and Duolingo. Like just as examples, like in this year, maybe even a little bit early or late last year, all examples that have gotten rid of like mass firings for AI. Because I mean, like it fits right in Microsoft trying to penny pinch and figure out. And like one of the things they're talking about was like just. You don't have to, because AI can't make games yet.
No.
But they figured out, like, the remakes is a little easier. It's like a softball, and, like, AI is moving rapidly these days. And, like, I remember, it was like a year and a half ago. I remember, like, I knew AI was out there, and it was just kind of like, when everybody was, like, felt kind of rudimentary. And then, like, it just felt all of a sudden to me, like, next thing you know, Google's got it up at the top. Like every company,
is pushing it at max volume. Yeah,
in a 6 months to a year span, might have been 2 years ago, but it was in this period of the late 2023 last year, some point.
Well, they're doing an arms race. I watch a guy, he does a daily video. And even like there are days like I'll watch like 3 videos in a row, like day after day, and there'll be changes day to day that are so big. He's like, guys, I can barely keep up with it. I'm doing a daily video, like an 8-minute video, right?
I mean, yeah, that's a guy literally like covering on the front lines, and he's like, I feel like if I was doing it, I'd run out of topics to be rehashing stuff. But apparently, but I mean, it is moving rapidly. There's things that are going on with like. I mean, we have a data center going down by the Walmart in Conover.
We do, yeah.
Which is another Microsoft move. And, like, it's because they literally need either, one, mass amounts of, like, data centers now. I've heard, like, mass amounts of power they needed to tap for the AI. Like, it's just, it could be a rabbit hole that we could spend the whole episode on. I'm just going to say.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a rapidly developing situation that we're keeping eyes on. But it definitely, I'd say, every few weeks as we reconvene for this, it seems like they're just kind of squandering any goodwill they had left.
Well, and there's a lot of fallout from the 9,000 layouts because apparently, aside from that, right, a lot of studios in Europe are in free fall, like smaller studios, because their publishing deals with Xbox. So the contractual deals were also cut at the same time, so that's not factoring into that number. John Romero, him and his wife, their studio were working on a new game for Xbox. John Romero Studios. And he said they cut the funding, basically. He didn't say it in so many words, but he basically said it was done, like it wasn't happening right. So, the free fall is kind of like continuing to happen and trickle through that community. Shockwaves, really. And apparently it's worse there than here, right? Obviously, getting capital in Europe isn't as easy as it is here, right? Yeah. So it's like for a lot of those studios, they were really like, dependent on that. It's one of the big three, right?
I hate that for those people. So I hope something works out for them, or like they're able to pick back up, or just I don't know if there's like contracts if they can use the assets or anything. Like I don't know if like hey, you're locked in for what you did up to this point. You can't do nothing with it. But just to continue moving, TK Bananza's coming out.
Oh, Thursday, right?
On Thursday, I forgot
they moved to Thursday.
Thursdays, which is so weird. But Thursdays, we're talking DK Bananza. It's coming out. The couple of things I was going to bring up, for anybody who hasn't gotten a Switch 2, that is a good time. Best Buy said they're going to get restocks with Switch 2s and the game on Thursday. And then Nintendo did or at least developers said they're aware of performance issues, but they are prioritizing fun. I looked up to see if there was just any reviews.
Oh, yeah, they were talking about when the destructibility of the terrain could cause maybe some lagging. That's why they said they moved it. Apparently they were developing it for Switch, and they were like, well, the system just can't handle the terrain destruction. It's just too much. We were going to move it. And They basically said, like you said, there's playability. So like when the system starts to lag, you won't feel that in your controls. You won't be like, oh, I can't move my character, because that's the worst feeling, right?
I think everything will. I mean, I didn't feel surprised. I mean, I know a lot of times people get more upset and a little cranky about their frame rates, and I'm not trying to downplay those, but like at the end of the day, like I agree with them prioritizing fun. Like,
no.
I could have an amazing game that looks the best and it runs smoothly, but it's just not fun. Like I just want to play.
Yeah.
I want something fun. So
this looks really good. I'm really happy. I feel like this is gonna be a big DK year. I feel like they're gonna announce the Donkey Kong movie soon.
So I actually have breaking news.
Oh, breaking news!
Universal and Nintendo filed a patent. I believe it was.
Oh, that's right. They did.
They published it today for Donkey Kong movie.
Yeah. Right.
So that this is truly a Kong-like year. I'm excited. Personally, giving my review score now, haven't played it yet, 10 out of 10.
10 golden banana coins.
Yeah, I was about to say 10 bananas out of 10. We're looking good, boys. We're eating well. And just to keep this train moving today, Edges of Eternity's previews.
Of Eternity, yes. The full card gallery will be out on Friday when this comes out. So
perfect.
You can go through it. You can look at it. But just watching the preview, I was really, I wasn't skeptical. I was like, oh, space fantasy, that's kind of up my alley. I like it a little more because, like, Tarkir, I think we talked about it earlier before the podcast, but Dragons, not as big a fantasy thing for me. They're cool. I like them.
Yeah.
But space fantasy, I was like, oh, I could get into that. And I really liked how the Space Angels looked. I liked how the lands looked, especially. A lot of those lands look really good. Some good effects. And I think it's going to be interesting. I'm not entirely drawn in, but I like the treatment of cards, and I saw some very powerful cards in there in terms of value. You know what I mean?
I say I'm like this with music, so I'm gonna speak with the same with cards. When it comes to music, I don't even listen. The way I listen to music, my brain like hears it musically, even the voice, and then if I like that, I process it. I have to go back and listen a second time, and then I'll focus on lyrics. Yeah. First time, like my brain doesn't even like tend to synthesize any lyric at all. Like that's how it's always just been. Yes. I'm just like, I love that sound and be like, this sounds pleasing. This to me, this is my kind of music. Cards are kind of the same way. I'm a visual person first. Like I like visually absorb a set, and then like after I'm like, I like this set. Then I'm, I mean, it's probably not the best to be competitive.
That's
player.
A more honest way to do it because like, first off, we don't have all the cards, so like you kind of have to see the puzzle pieces come together because they're like, oh, there's the legendary ships can be commanders. Like, what does that mean for me? Like, what cards build off these effects? And you're like, I don't know, right? Because that's a new thing. So, assuming this set's going to have the most support for that, you kind of need to see everything. And like you said, it's like, it's like reading a poem. It's like you got to read it a couple times usually to get everything out of it, right? It's like we're a song, right? You like it. You're just like, okay. I've listened to rock songs, and I'm like, what is that guy saying? It's usually Sting. I can never understand him.
I like Nirvana a lot, but like I know obviously Weird Al did his famous like cover of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" because some lyrics. I think it's Heart Shaped Box. It was one of the lyrics that like either I read it one. I was like, Jesus, I've been saying this for like. Yeah. But you can ask me. You can ask her. I am the absolute worst of lyrics. Like apparently, she is like masterful at remembering lyrics. I've realized I just if I don't know a word, I place a word randomly in there, and I'm just like, hey.
It's music.
I just push it in.
I was going to say, it's just, you enjoy it, it's not a big deal.
Well, and I'll say for this set, it gave me Dune vibes, Star Wars, and Alien. Like I saw a lot of those influences, Dune, as far as like just the, kind of like the moons, the landscape, and then Star Wars, obviously it's a space opera. I feel like there's no way they weren't influenced by the ships, the pageant, just all of that. And then Alien... I'd seen these like
there's some horror cards in there. They haven't really gone into it, but there were a couple I saw.
I did see those. I saw lands such as Eldrazi Temple, Gemstone Caverns, and my own handwriting here. But I'm just gonna say Bordes Enclave. But like it's just the font felt alien-esque to me. Like like when it comes up on the screen, like one letter at a time in an Alien movie.
Just was I know you're talking about those like the way I think on Gemstone Caverns it's like a triangle for the A, right?
Yes. That's what it gave me. I know and there's also the Alien vibes of like as far as like influence with like you said, the horror aspects, like the isolation and just the creatures. So, and I was going to just for me touch down on Starfield Vocalist. I noticed there's actually two anime cards I saw, but like they're still sticking with that anime vibes, like as a top tier fractured foil and otherwise borderless. I'm guaranteed that's got to be I think they're starting to learn like what are system. Here's a video game guy in me, but what are set sellers?
Yes,
for these sets, like what are like I know like everyone's kind of like
Well, Galaxy foils. That's a good
Galaxy
example
foils,
right there, yeah.
animated treated cards.
Because you want to talk about a set seller. I mean,
Shocklands,
yes,
like
Shocklands, like value. That was another point I was going to make. I feel like there's a lot of value. There's a lot of engagement. I was really engaged by they did those classic 1930s kind of like a postcard, like sci-fi pulp.
Yes.
Ray Punk, I think that's what it's called from the 30s, right?
Oh,
Adam
yes.
Punk. Just like those beautiful, flat, bright colors. I was like, really drew me in.
Similar to Sliver Overlord?
Yes.
That's been the one card.
That card is amazing. That's like a comic book, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, and I feel like maybe it was Dustmorn, but it was like...
no, they did a horror-based one, like horror comics almost from the 50s.
Yes.
I think it was Dustmorn.
And then Lord of the Rings, the poster art, like they kind of...
psychedelic, yeah.
The psychedelics, I'm not saying that was psychedelic, but it just has those tendencies, like they're figuring out, like, hey, like they're really doing great with, like, again, the player base. You can get standard cards of all these, but you can get also very special treatments. They look amazing and they look very pretty. And the collector of me, I have been playing the heck out of some Magic. I played in Arena just to understand more and more and more of the mechanics, how things are going to interact with each other. Because like you saw how like we went to MagicCon and there was like the judge.
Yes. And
there was interactions that you're like, man, this dude, there's some stuff that's like wacky, and he has to be the one at the end of the day to be like, no, that don't work like that. So like,
yeah, he's got to like time it out. I mean, I'm sure they have a course or something, but it's got to be a lot of work, man.
It feels like it. It really does.
Well, especially we're at the official Vegas Con. I'm sure those are the like they get paid to do that. Like that's all They're like, I don't know if I assume there's some volunteers, but mostly they're probably like on staff.
Well, and the last thing I'll touch on this set was it was interesting. They cut allocations in half for us on this set, which was interesting because it felt to me a lot of people at the beginning chatter was like Aether Drift,
right, another Aether Drift.
But I was thinking more like Tark. I mean, I felt a little bit like around Tarkirish level, and that's after the previews, everything's been good.
Yes,
but Magic or Watsy must have. I don't know. I'm just going to say like they may or may not have been like, So they seems like they cut print stats on this one because we got half. Everyone I've known's gotten cut. Whether you're big or small, it doesn't matter. Like allocations on this one are tight.
Well, I'm wondering if they're moving print allocation up for a reprint of Final Fantasy, or if it's just more like you're saying they're just trying to make sure there's enough to go around. But I do think I think they're really thinking about these sets, and unlike think about Aether Drift, and maybe people do. I'm sure some people knew this, but that's they call it like a hat set, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of existing characters, and they kind of shoot them in. This isn't like a mostly original set, other than Tesseract. He's the main bad guy, but obviously, he has machinations. He kind of fits in.
And you want to see? I don't mind seeing like like at least a couple, like one. I think they've stated for a long time. One Planeswalker will be in usually. I'd like to see two, but I get like why they just do one. But I get it because you want to put at least a familiar face in it for older fans, a little bit newer, be like,
for the lore also,
to reestablish like that character after maybe they've been gone for so long. So
well, I'm trying to remember. I think it was at the end of the Phyrexian All Will Be One storyline where he got kind of like banished. He was a part behind that machinations. They were turning people, attacking everyone in the multiverse. So it's kind of like if Thanos showed up again, right? That's kind of like a good way to acknowledge it. From what I've seen, from what I've read, because there's a lot of magic lore.
I'll say too. So I got one last little beat for that before I switch to this last topic, which is it's very interesting to me. It's scary a little bit. Right now it feels like we were discussing, Magic's becoming the new Pokemon, as far as I've heard a lot of people coining, Pokebros moving over to Magic. With Final Fantasy doing so good on the scalping hype, resale game. Cards this year definitely became like a miniature investment vehicle for a lot of people. So like people are like grabbing, and I think, and I'll be honest, it's getting hard for us. I know personally, and anybody to restock. Our guys, it's getting to the point now where at least before I was like, I can stock Magic. Now I'm like, now we're just out of Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh's prints at demand, so like once it's done the first run, it's gone pretty much. And then I was like, now Magic's getting, just bought up and is getting, and they're keeping the print runs tight, which is good. I mean, that's fine. I think they're so scared of returning to that Magic 30/Amazon dump phase.
Yeah, over flooding the market, maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I would rather it be like this. I would rather it be a more controlled environment. So I don't want to like harp on this too long, but I do feel like, hopefully, like I said, maybe I don't care if new sets would be great getting printing. It'd be great to see some old sets getting printing. I still feel like there's demand for like a lot of commander decks we keep getting asked about.
Yes.
I just want to see more. And my last topic, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to throw in the ring here, was
Yeah. You go ahead.
the Sonic Secret Lair came out today.
Yeah, the Sonic Secret Lair.
Oh man, and I like, so one thing I've been seeing is that for most part before they hadn't been doing mechanically unique cards for Secret Lairs. Now Deadpool they did, the Sonic, the Friends and Foes they did, but on both the middle ground, which I do like this as long as this LGSs will get it. It is up for pre-order. It is at distributors.
Yes, this
So-
isn't going to be a first curve. Get in line kind of situation.
Might be more demand. I feel like they're trying to be like, hey, we're gonna make it mechanically unique, but we're going to do this.
I'm wondering if this is they didn't want to build a whole Universe Beyond set around it, but they
Yes.
said we'll give you this. How about this? We'll give you a deal with Secret Lair.
Yeah.
You get a set. They're mechanically unique. They're not just going to be reskins.
Yes.
Because they're moving up. I think we've talked about just 6 sets a year. 3 of them are going to be Universe Beyonds. That's a lot of IPs, but not
That's a
every
lot of
IP
IPs.
is going to lend itself to building a whole set around. We're talking about
Whole
what? 300, 400 cards minimum?
I mean, Final Fantasy was 5 years, but
Yes.
now there has been not just chatter, but products dropping at different retailers. Like there was a Chocobo bundle that dropped.
Oh.
There are 42 cards they figured out are missing in the print somewhere. It's in the Final Fantasy chatter. So there is definitely that what we heard at MagicCon. They're definitely doing either another collector's booster,
Right.
or a special like a scene boxes. Maybe
Kind of like the Lord of the Rings special edition box, right?
they're doing they're doing something. Something else is coming. It will come towards the end of the year. So for those people going for master sets, brace yourself. There's going to be more. There's more to, and then, for good and bad. I mean, and the last thing I was going to say is that very fitting of Sonic. All of them got haste.
Yes.
That was a common thread. The time together was haste. So.
Yes. No, I was going to say. I think Sonic himself buffs other cards that have haste.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, got to go fast. It kind of makes sense.
It makes sense. I'm glad they find ways to take mechanics that are already there for like Magic and say, hey, let's apply it to this IP, and it works. It feels good. It fits good. They teased the secret cards in the secret layers, which is the Chaos Emeralds, and in the Chaos Emerald Master Shrine, where I know it's Sonic Adventure 1.
I haven't seen that actually.
They're really cool. They have all 7 colors, and then the other card is I believe it's land. It's the temple, where Knuckles goes in Sonic Adventure 1.
Yeah, I think it's the I guess
pyramid?
it's in the jungle. It's the shrine because it's not on
Yes.
Angel Island, but it's like the ancient Echidna civilization shrine kind of.
That's the other card.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did Chaos, maybe, but maybe not.
I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't necessarily show all of the secret cards. Like SpongeBob, they didn't really. Not until everyone started opening them, and then they discovered, Dismembered. I haven't seen Dismembered hardly at all. Smothering Tithe is very hard to get. The Counterspell, the freaking Command Tower, the Pineapple Under Sea. That's the common one. That's the one that is very easy to get, and then the others, trust me, because I bought enough to be like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But
No, yeah, they look good. But I guess that about wraps it up, right, for this episode.
I'm feeling good. I feel good. You feel good. Yeah. So, guys, we really appreciate it again, as always. Thank you for joining us and being a part of our show. And we're always excited to continue going. So thank you, Stephen, for joining today's episode and stepping in for Xavier. So, guys, we appreciate you so much. Have a wonderful day.